Our next stop is The Hatch, one of the Okanagan's newest wineries, a stone's throw from the venerable Quails Gate in Mission Hill along Boucherie Road. We'll catch up with two great young guys, Jesse and Jason, who are members of the next generation of the new Okanagan. Jesse, The Hatch is open. It's not fancy.
It's not. We decided after much debate that it was going to be really hard to out-fancy our neighbours across the way here, and so rather than be third best in a short list, we decided to go a completely polar opposite direction and renovate a drive shed and focus on antique shovels.
Yeah, antique shovels.
Jason and I, when we started conceiving of this project about 2.5 years ago, we went down to California and went to the $1 million spots, but we kept coming back to the real rustic, hole-in-the-wall kind of places that just had that immediate, inviting, cozy atmosphere, and that's where we decided to go with it.
We actually went to some really fancy wineries, then we went somewhere for ribs on a picnic table.
That's right.
And said, this is it.
Wow.
And it was under a tent, and there was a food truck there. That stole our hearts more than the big wineries did. So.
Well, they served the Sauvignon Blanc in mason jars, and we almost shed a tear. The vision was always one, is that I was really obsessed with doing single vineyard wines from the Okanagan and the Similkameen. I think the real amazing thing about the BC wine industry is its diversity. So rather than focusing on an estate vineyard and doing our best with that particular block, we really feel strongly that certain grapes probably do well in different areas. Yeah. And through Jason's great relationships with growers, we've decided to really make a go of a more negociant kind of philosophy and reflect the diversity of our industry.
So how will consumers understand the hatch or the labels or the way the wines are rolled out?
The whole project started with Black Swift, and so Black Swift, to give you a little background, it's a bird native to the Okanagan, and it's the only bird in the world that lays a single egg at a time. So after 4 bottles of Pinot Noir, we thought single egg, single vineyard. Rather than name the entire project after our super premium small lot wine, let's call it The Hatch, and The Hatch will be an incubator for Black Swift, but also other ideas and concepts, ways for him to play around with varietals that might not be as popular, and for us to play around with packaging. And The Hatch will eventually be this evolving portfolio of relationships with growers, our own wines, relationships with restaurants. We really want it to be a dynamic concept here.
So obviously, Jason, a lot of this fits in with your feeling or your philosophy about how wine should be made, or how you relate to wine here in the Okanagan?
Yeah. Well, when I make a wine, all I try to do is take what the grower did and represent that varietal the best I can. So having a place like this, it's very understated and just very open and comfortable. It's the same thing. It's not adding too much bells and whistles.
I love the concept of single vineyards, but I'm feeling like the Okanagan now is stretched out and bought out. Is it easy or hard to find a single vineyard, and how does that work?
We found a beautiful vineyard at the end of a cul-de-sac in Westbank.
In a residential area?
In a residential area.
Yeah.
It's organic. It's, I think it's 4 acres, and the vines are 40 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, with a really cool dude named Frank.
And if you were to tell the story of that site, or the flavor or the taste, what's specific about a Westbank chard?
Oh, that's a hard one. Children's laughter and street hockey from the street, I guess.
Children's laughter and street hockey. Did you just hatch that up, or what? Wow. Okay, touche. I can't top that. That's impossible. When planning your next Okanagan trip, include Sparkling Hill Resort, North America's new leading health resort with a 40,000 square foot Kerr Spa.